Very good evening, friends. Meeting again in the session of Materia Medica. And today I will share one important remedy from fourth year syllabus, and that is the Artemisia Vulgaris. A very short remedy given in Borix Materia Medica, but having a big value in day-to-day practice, and I have utilized it many times in my practice for the cases of epilepsy specifically. I will going to share two cases. One patient who is there with me to whom I am treating, it's a case of petit mal epilepsy, and he used to get the absence seizures. He, he used to all of a sudden he used to fall down, or sometimes he used to be just he goes into a trance. He could not understand what is happening around him, and within a 10 to 15 seconds, sometimes maximum 30 seconds, he used to come out, and then he could not recollect what has happened. He used to ask where I was, what I am talking, what, how can I am be here. These types of expressions used to happen with him, but he never had directly a convulsive disorders regular. And he was already treated by many neurologists with the anti-epileptics, but this problem was not getting settled, and that's why his parents were afraid of giving him a vehicle to go anywhere. And this was a young fellow, around 25, and they were in worry that how to go ahead and how he will get married, all those things. Thanks to Artemisia vulgaris, that after giving the Artemisia vulgaris 30 for a certain period, I have repeated it for nearly about 15 days, and thereafter I have kept him on watch, and he used to remain nearly about very good for nearly 4 months. Thereafter he got another attack of similar type of petit malady. Then I have repeated the dose, and he found to be a better. Once only I have given him 200. With 30 only, he has recovered so fantastically. Artemisia vulgaris is a wonderful remedy for petit mal epilepsy or absence seizures, where you never get a complete convulsions generally, and you generally, if it happens in young fellows, this is the remedy for epilepsy in youngsters or childrens, specifically childrens or youngsters who are in adolescence age. This is a wonderful remedy. Second incidence is with my one of the close relatives. She was just 14, 15 years of age, and she had epilepsy in childhood, and they have treated lot of allopathic medication, and she was continued with all those tablets, started with Gardinal, then changes, then new drugs, and with them also she was not able to get control. What happened one day, they were returning from the Pune to Nasik, and all of a sudden, in between, in the ST only, while traveling from the state transport buses, she had an attack. And one of the close relative of them, he had taken the video, and they were near the Sangamner, so they directly came to me. So I observed till that period she was okay, and then whole history I have taken, and that video was there with me, and she had the confusion like that she used to do. The man, her head was going in backward direction in jerking condition, and second, her mouth was turning towards the left. That was very typical of it. It was going to in backward direction over there, and she was turning head to the left and mouth to the left. This was very typical, and she was jerking. It remained for only a half minute or 1 minute, and then she recovered from it. And that is the typical video was there. It is a characteristic of Artemisia vulgaris. The head gets backwards in direction with jerkings. That is one important indication in convulsions of Artemisia vulgaris. And mouth draws to the left side or it turns to the left side. That is another important feature is there. And third is the young age, adolescence age, children, specifically adolescents, young girls. They are. The problem lies over here is the emotional disturbance. Emotional disturbance provokes the epilepsy. In that girl, there was a fight between herself and her brother, and that itself she was disturbed, and because of which she got that. And that was one of the important indication for the Artemisia vulgaris. So I have started directly on her Artemisia vulgaris, and I observed her, and within span of 1 year, she was completely out of the complaints by repeating Artemisia many times in between. But she recovered and fantastically recovered from her seizure problems. Then the constitutional remedy in her case given was natrum salt, and thereafter no more seizures. So these are two important cases where I have successfully used the Artemisia vulgaris. Let us go with a short description about Artemisia vulgaris in Borix Remedica. It is mugwort. Has some reputation as a remedy in epileptic conditions and convulsive diseases of childhood and girls at puberty. Underline this: childhood and girls at puberty. Locally and internally is injurious to the eye. Petit mal, it is given in italics and that has significance. Petit mal epilepsy is nothing but the absence seizures. Epilepsy without aura, that is one more indication which has been mentioned. There is no sensation, no feeling how the patient will going to get the epileptic attack. Epilepsy after fright and other violent emotions. See, this is very important. After fright, after violent emotions, after masturbation. That is third important thing which is very important. Here it goes with Bupo also. But Bupo, it is not because of masturbation. Bupo is sexually acting and active and they want to be masturbate alone. That is very typical of the Bupo. But Bupo, there is a dwarfism associated with the epilepsy is characteristic of Bupo, and Bupo epilepsy generally happens to be at night. Several convulsions close together. It is nothing but the status epilepticus which you can get in this Artemisia, somnambulism, and patient doesn't know what happens, gets up at night, works and remembers nothing in the morning. It goes with the caliphosphoricum. So these are the people who used to they used to wake up at night, works, and they totally forgets what they have done at night. This is very characteristic of the Artemisia vulgaris. Head is drawn back by spasmodic teaching. This is what I have told you. Mouth is drawn to the left. There is a congestion of brain. Eyes colored light produces dizziness. This is again given in italics, and that might be one of the reason behind the epileptic attacks. Pain and blurring of vision, better by rubbing, worse by using eyes. There is pain in eyes. The pain in eyes, Ruta is a wonderful remedy. Asthenopia, that is in future, which is mentioned in Ruta. Female complaints, profuse menses, violent uterine contractions, spasms during menses, but these are common symptoms. It doesn't have a significance. Fever, profuse sweat, smelling like garlic. Underline this. This is one of the MCQ. Specifically, you should not forget this. Perspiration smelling like garlic, Artemisia vulgaris. The comparison relationship, absinthinum is very important remedy, but that works generally as a palliative. Sina, cicuta, Sina, epilepsy in children, cicuta, the head twitching or turning backwards, head cicuta, here you have to compare the remedy. Dose is first to third potency, said to act better when given with the wine. But I have not utilized in such a manner. I have utilized generally 630, 200. These are the potencies I used to use. Generally, I starts with 6 or 30. And it gives very good results with 30. Many times I have utilized the 36. Nowadays I used to use, but previously I used to use 30 and followed by 200 if needed. So this is a wonderful remedy in the case of epilepsy. One should not forget and utilize in practice, specifically in petit mal epilepsy, epilepsy without aura, epilepsy with head is twitching or going backward direction with the face or mouth turns towards the left. Then epilepsy because of the fright, because epilepsy because of the violent emotions, or epilepsy because of masturbation. These are the specific entities or characteristic features one should not forget. So that's all for today. A wonderful short remedy, useful in practice, and from exam point of view, epilepsy, you can write it under the therapeutics, one of the important remedy. So that's all for today. Thank you. We'll meet again tomorrow at the same time. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.